Thanks to our sponsor, Galaxy Lamps, the creator of Galaxy Projector, bringing the stars inside your tiny house. The Galaxy Projector transforms your entire tiny home or room into an alternate universe with help from NASA satellite imagery. Ooh, it's so magical. It's like I'm in space. With its 3-stand system, it allows you to display against walls and ceilings. You can set it up with Amazon Alexa or Google Assistant, and with app integration, there's no other remote needed. The Galaxy Projector integrates with a smart app for unlimited color options with an RGB dial, ability to control the rotation speed, set timers and schedules, and so much more. You can also use it on its own without integrating to the app with its 6 different color pattern settings. Get 15% off now. Use our link in the description below.
Hi, I'm Jake.
I'm Karis,
And this is our home in the Lake Dallas Tiny Home Village. We met in theater. We were both part of the play Dracula. And there was a scene where she fainted and fell into my arms.
and so it was.
And so it was.
So I'm Karis, and this is Jake. We have been married a little bit over a year. We met whenever I was 14 and Jake was 16. We met in high school. We were just babies. But we've been together for a really long time, and now we live in this amazing tiny home together.
It was so serendipitous because the timing of it was perfect.
Yeah.
The pricing was perfect. The company was perfect. Decathlon's been incredible.
Yeah.
They've helped us every step of the way and have just done an amazing job with it.
Yeah, honestly, everything came together just, like you said, so serendipitous, so lucky. From the time that we decided we wanted a tiny home to the time that we moved in, it was literally 2 weeks. It happened so fast, and we have never regretted it.
So I am a music teacher. I teach elementary music, and Karis is a podcast writer for Spotify. She writes true crime podcasts. At first, whenever we first moved in, she was still a contract writer for them. She wasn't hired on salary, and I was still a paraprofessional in a local school, and so we weren't generating a lot of income at the time, and we still really wanted a place to go, and the tiny house was just a perfect compromise of we were able to afford it at the time with some help from family, of course, which we were very thankful for. But yeah, it was definitely a factor of money for us.
Yeah, when we first moved in, we financed the home for 15 years, which at the time like really worked with the money that we were making. And now we're making like a lot more payments to pay it off a lot faster, which is super lucky. Again, like really excited about that now that I am full-time at my job and Jake has like a salaried teaching position. But even before we both got those jobs, like having a tiny home makes your bills so low.
Yeah.
So like our electricity bill, and we live in Texas, so our electricity bill is like $30 to $40 a month compared to the average here could be anywhere from like $250 to $400. So literally just looking at utilities, we're saving a ton every month. Yeah, it's really nice to be in a situation where like even though we are paying partial of our housing costs towards the lot rent, the rest of it is going into an asset that we're going to eventually own, and we'll have the home either to just live in while we continue saving money. We've talked about renting it out as an Airbnb. We could use it as a vacation home. I've even thought like really far in the future, how cool would it be whenever we have kids to like, you know, if you're going off to college, like you can live in the tiny home, you know, like I think that it will be something that will be really useful to us for a really long time.
Yeah, we definitely want to keep it for as long as possible.
Yeah. Our home is 7 feet by 26 feet. It's a total of 254 square feet. It was built by Decathlon Construction, and we've lived here for about 2 years.
The outside of a tiny home is something that a lot of people don't take into account for utilization of space and storage. Something that we're really proud of is being able to utilize underneath our house for storage. All we have to do is remove these 2 blocks, and we have access to our off-season clothes. That's all of our winter stuff. We're about to bring that out for the season. Place these back and we're all set. And under our deck is also highly utilized. We have several storage bins underneath there. Whenever we first moved in, we did not have a deck, and there was a lot of stuff that we just had either like in our cars
Shoved in drawers.
or shoved in drawers. And once we were able to build our deck, we got containers that we could put under there that had some stuff for storage. And it's nice to come out here and sit for a couple hours and work on lesson planning, or if Karis is writing a podcast or something, or just hanging out. It's a really nice spot to do that.
So we have lots of little places to hang out in our yard. We have this nice little hammock. We have a table and chairs. And then we also like to decorate the deck. So we have a skeleton for Halloween. We have some really nice pumpkins that we got. And then we have this box that Jake made.
Yeah, it's really nice to just be able to make it our own. Karis really wanted to plant some herbs in front of our house, and so I built a small little box that has lot number 1 on it, and we can plant stuff in there as well when we need to.
When I can keep it alive.
Yeah.
There's no herbs right now, but we do have Halloween decorations.
We're really happy with the amount of space that we have in our yard. I know a lot of people are concerned about yard space, but honestly, this is more than most people have. If you live in an apartment or anything like that, this is more yard than you'll have, and we're able to utilize it pretty well. We have the grassy area, but we also have our porch that we're able to utilize as well. All right, well, come on in.
Welcome inside. The thing that we love the most about our home is that it feels super open, it's super bright, and it just feels like a lot roomier than it actually is.
Yeah. This is our living room setup. We have our entertainment center over on this side. We just got this TV a couple months ago, and it's been wonderful. It's a great size, 50 inches.
42?
42 inches, yeah, 42 inches, and it fits perfectly in the spot. We have all of our gaming equipment up top. One of my favorite pastimes is to play video games, so this is a nice spot to do it. We have all of our books, some of our books down here, our record player, and we love to show off our little tiny home spooky gingerbread village.
So this is our couch. We actually had this custom built from a company called Home Reserve. We really struggled finding a couch that fit all the specifications for what we needed in the tiny home. So this one is exactly 6 feet long, because that's exactly how much space we had. It's 3 sections with end pieces and then the ottoman. And the coolest part is that it's all storage. So every single section of this couch, if you take off the cushions and then remove this, we have a ton of stuff stored inside of our couch. So that like triples our space, basically.
So we're first-time homeowners, and whenever we first moved in, we were terrified about damaging our walls. And the first thing that we had to do was put up shelves to not only display some of my favorite trinkets, but also for storage. We drilled into this wall with such hesitation and such care and caution.
We probably measured it 3 times
Yeah.
before we did anything.
It was definitely horrifying, but we're really happy we did it. We're really able to make it our own. These shelves and this little section right here has really allowed us to express ourselves and put up just little things that make this house feel like a home.
We also like collecting art and even custom making art. So I commissioned my friend. She owns an art studio called West of Weird, and we actually had a picture of our tiny home made stylized like Baba Yaga's hut. And in the background of the picture, we have like Mothman and UFOs and Bigfoot, and it's just like a creepy, spooky, very Halloween fitting portrait of our home.
This is our kitchen area. It leads straight from the living room into here. It is very big relative to other tiny homes, which is great. Ever since we moved in and the pandemic hit, we started cooking basically every meal at home. And it was really nice to be able to have all of this space for prep and for cooking. Most tiny homes we see have at most 2 burners on their stove, and we have a full 4-burner stove. We're super happy about that. We have the oven as well, and our sink is pretty big, very deep, lovely because we don't have a dishwasher. Obviously no room for dishwasher in here. It's nice to be able to have the space to do all of our dishes in there. This cabinet is used for our bowls, plates, cups, mugs, and then we have down here some food items, just your basic pantry stuff. Our silverware drawer, where we also keep our cling wrap. Down here is our cleaning supplies, where we keep like our bleach, our trash cans down there as well. That's where we put most of our trash. We have a little junk drawer. Everyone's got to have one. And then some pots and pans go in here. We couldn't fit all of our pots and pans in there, so what we did was we just put command hooks up on our cabinets and hung our pots up there, our knives as well. We have spices and stuff in here. It's pretty deep. Most of our cabinets are really deep, so we're able to fit a lot in there. And then oil, spaghetti noodles, stuff like that in there as well. Microwave is a really nice thing to have. It's another thing that a lot of tiny homes don't have. And we're really happy to have it just for the convenience of it. It's not something that we use extremely often. We usually use the stove because it's nice and easy to use, but it is convenient to have it when we want it. To save space, we also like to take things up from the counters. Karis made this lovely little fruit net here that we like to put our potatoes, avocados, anything that we typically don't put in the fridge. Our bread as well usually goes up there just to keep it off from the counter, so we have more space. An espresso is a wonderful machine. Karis really likes her coffee, and so this is a nice, quick, easy way to have coffee without having something to clean every day. It also doesn't take up too much space. It's one of their slimmer models. And I am a fizzy water addict. I love carbonated water, so our soda stream is a very important thing for me to have. I use it quite often, and I wish I had it at work as well. This is our fridge. It's a 3/4 fridge. We wish that we were able to have more space because, like I said, we're cooking at home most of the time, and so we go through produce a lot. We fill up our fridge as much as we can, and we eat it all. But we have to go shopping a little bit more often than most people might because of our small fridge. But it is pretty nice to have something that's not just a mini fridge in the home, and we are able to fit enough food for a week or two in here, and that's nice. Something that we find is very important in a tiny home especially is finding spots and unique ways to express yourself and make the home yours. And this is a wonderful way to do it. For us, we're able to put stuff above our sink that really shows what we find interesting. We also have some family relics up there. We're able to keep our wine and other adult beverages up here next to my grandfather's bust. And it's a nice way to know that he's always watching us whenever we are making those decisions.
Good one.
Thanks.
Always under Bob's watchful eye.
Our friends have lived here from the very beginning of the village.
Yeah.
They were letting us know about the lots filling up quickly. There's only 2 left.
Yeah.
There's this company called Decathlon who's eager to put a house on a lot here. But they were really helpful in just getting us in there.
Yeah, and it was also lucky for us because I think part of what made us make our decision so fast is that like tiny homes and tiny home living were not new to us. Like we did have a friend that was already living here. We'd been in the tiny home. We knew what it was like. So we didn't really have that period of like, is this right for us?
Yeah.
A bunch of, because it is if you're going from living in a conventional home to a tiny home, that's a huge decision.
But we've lived in small spaces for
Yeah.
quite some time.
Yeah.
We lived in a duplex with 3 other people for a while. We lived in a pretty large house with like 6 other people at one point. I came from a dorm as well, so I had never really lived in a large place that was my own.
Yeah. Even though it's small, it definitely does feel large just because all of it is ours. Like we don't have to share it with anybody else, which for us, when we first moved in, was very new. I was a little worried about sleeping in the loft before we moved in because it's a 4-foot loft. But we also have a triangular roof, so there's some parts on the edges where it's a little shorter. But honestly, now it's it's so cozy and safe feeling to me.
Yeah.
While I was at the hotel over the weekend, I was like, there's so much space above my head. Like there's so much room here and I don't feel encapsulated the way that I'm used to.
Yeah, here it feels like really high quality luxury camping almost all the time. And I love it.
It's just a little tiny cabin. I think maybe a lot of people approach tiny homes and they think that they're gonna feel cramped, when in reality, like it's almost just like a cozy feeling, especially if it's laid out well and you keep it tidy. It really doesn't feel as small as you think that it might. Because I write true crime for a living, I'm a little bit paranoid. And so we have the camera outside, which makes me feel better. And we also, there's only one door, like there's only one entrance, and there's nowhere to hide in a tiny home. So I feel very safe, you know what I mean? Like there's nowhere for anybody to sneak in. So this is a design feature that a lot of tiny homes have, is making the staircase have drawers inside of it, which is really, really helpful for storage space. So all 4 of our steps have drawers in them. We use them for various stuff. We keep our shoes in them. We keep like some food, reusable grocery bags and things like that. But this, in addition to the couch and the space underneath the porch, is like our primary storage areas. So one of my favorite parts of the house is right over here. We sort of made like a little art wall. We just got on Etsy one day and we each ordered a lot of prints and different stuff that we liked and put it up right here. So this is my side. I have all my stuff that I like. And then this is Jake's side. He has all his stuff that he likes. And then whenever you open up these doors, this is actually where our water heater is. So we have a huge water heater. We can shower for like ever and never run out of hot water, which is amazing because like some other people in the tiny homes only get like 10 minutes of hot water. So we have a big water heater. We also have like some cleaning supplies and stuff in this little closet. So this is a nice storage space. Over here on the left is our closet. When we first moved in, it had a door that was the same as this one, but we bought like a closet shelves and stuff at IKEA and it didn't fit with this door. So we hung up this cool little tapestry and then it's just on a thing that we can slide to the side, and this is where we keep all of our clothes.
This is our bathroom. It is a little bit bigger than some bathrooms you might see in other tiny homes. We're pretty happy with it. Our sink is pretty unique. It's a little flower shape. We thought that was really cute. It is nice to have this much counter space just in case we need it. Fit our toiletries on here, anything like that. We have Daisy's litter box, our cat Daisy's litter box over here. We had it out in the living room at one point, just out in the open, and that was not cutting it. So Karis got this really cute little cabinet that it goes in, and on top of it we can put our dirty laundry and our towels as well. Our toilet is over here. It is equipped with a washlet, I think is what they're called. It's basically a bidet. It's nice to have. And then over on top of it is a cabinet space that we just bought at Walmart. I think it was like $40. We can put all of our things that we normally wouldn't want out on the counter in here. We have some of Daisy's toys on the top. It's just some little decorations and stuff. Our toilet is not a compostable toilet. It is a flushing toilet. So we can't just be off the grid. Maybe at some point we might have an option for a compostable toilet so we can be off the grid, but at this point it's not really something we're looking into very much. Our shower is pretty large. I was worried about it being too small whenever we first got it. I am 6'3" and I barely fit into this room, and so being able to get in and out of the shower was concerning for me, especially whenever we put in the pole and basket system to store all of our shampoos and stuff. But after a week or so, I got very used to it and I'm able to maneuver around just fine inside. I'm never knocking my head on anything. I'm never knocking anything down. It always works out just fine. Decathlon took care of so much for us, and it made the transition so easy. It was awesome.
Yeah, they delivered the house. They took care of all of our certifications. They took care of the inspection. They built our skirting for us, which we have to have at the village. They even gave us like little welcome gifts and stuff. They're amazing. I cannot sing their praises enough.
We were able to get it for $56,000. Just a steal, honestly.
But we put $24,000 down, and then
the lot rent
is $515.
Yeah, it used to just be 500 flat. Property taxes have gone up.
Yeah.
And Terry's doing a lot more around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
So,
but that also covers, that's the lot rent. That also covers water, which is really nice. We just pay a flat rate for water. And at first, so we financed the home for 15 years. The minimum payment is something like $358 a month. So if you roll that all together, that's basically $900 in housing costs, which is really, really good. But of course, we pay a lot more than that now. So right now we're paying $1,400 a month onto the house. And at that rate, we're gonna have it paid off by November 2023. Before we bought this, I was looking at like tiny home horror stories and going through some page of like the worst tiny homes ever, and some of the stuff out there is really questionable. So you just need to make sure that you buy a home that's laid out really nicely. It is kind of scary going into it because things can vary builder to builder so much, and like people really need to do their research and know who's legit and who's making really good houses, because some of them can be like really beautiful and really well laid out, and then some of them can come with a lot of problems that you didn't anticipate.
Like ours is built like a house.
Yeah.
It has house materials. The walls are cedar. The floor is a nice laminate. And one of the houses that we were looking at was built like a really cheap trailer. And I lived in a trailer whenever I was young, and so I know the build material, I know the build quality. And this is nothing like it. This feels like a home, like a permanent residence.
And to be fair, there's nothing wrong with trailers.
No.
It's just tiny homes and trailers are not necessarily the same thing. And I think they get equated a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Up in our loft, we have one furry friend and one scaly friend who live with us. In addition to that, we also have a second TV. A lot of people think it's weird that we have two TVs in the tiny home, but I'm trying to be cozy all the time. So I can hang out on my couch or I can hang out in my bed. We also had some trouble whenever we first moved in finding a mattress that fit well within the loft because it's only 4 feet tall. Originally, we were sleeping on like a futon mattress and a mattress topper, and eventually we upgraded that into a purple mattress. So we've been super, super happy with the purple mattress. If I'm remembering correctly, they're 9 3/4 inches thick.
Yeah.
So they're really good for short spaces in the loft if anybody is looking for one. It's been super, super comfy. As far as mattresses go, it was fairly affordable. So we've been really happy with the purple mattress up there. So these are our roommates. This is Mosey. He's a bearded dragon. He mostly just hangs out inside of his terrarium, but he really likes to eat carrots. He likes kale, he likes yellow squash, and he likes worms. So he hangs out in there. And then this is Daisy. She is a tortoiseshell cat. She's 5 years old. And she pretty much has free reign of the tiny house. Whenever we adopted her, she was 4, and our friends were having to rehome her, and she had been living basically in a bedroom. So she was used to a small space, and I was a little bit worried about her living in the tiny home, but she has adjusted to it really, really well. She's totally comfortable here. She loves running up and down the stairs. She has plenty of places to scratch. She loves watching birds out the window, and she obviously loves napping on our bed.
One thing that a lot of people asked us about was, what if you guys get in a fight and you need to get some time away from each other?
This is so weird to me because married couples act like they fight and they need to like split up and like be a mile away.
It's been a wonderful experience for us. We don't fight often, and it's always just a conversation usually, never a fight. And the most helpful part of the tiny home is the fact that we are together.
Yeah.
And anytime we do have a disagreement, it's always, we are here. Let's figure it out because we are here.
Yeah, I definitely do think that it has brought us closer because like we are so often like negotiating space, and there are sacrifices on both sides, and it's like, okay, it's really important to me that I have this bookshelf here. Like, I'm an English major, I love books, I need my bookshelf. It's really important to Jake that he has his soda stream, so very important to have the fizzy water.
Yes.
Our friends are also married that live here, and they get asked the same question, is like, what do you do when you get mad? And we're like, well, you just talk. Like, you sit on the couch and you talk. Something else that I've noticed is like, I know that this is a lot of people's reservation about living tiny, but for me, I love the limits that it places on what you can buy and what you can accumulate. For me, I'm definitely the kind of person where I'm like, I want to spend my entire check on Halloween decorations. So having a small house and less stuff, it's like, you can't buy things because you don't have anywhere to put them.
Yeah.
So there is a very practical barrier to how much stuff you can accumulate, and it really forces you to think about, what do I really want? What is really important to me? And I think that runs counter to a lot of this like consumer culture ideology that we get a lot of. And I think it allows you to just live more deliberately and more carefully.
Thank you for watching our video and for stopping by Tiny House Expedition. I'm Alexis.
And I'm Christian. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
And for more tiny home tours and stories, click the videos below.
And join us on Instagram for bonus content,
including face-to-face conversations with us. We hope to see you there.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Have a good one.